Yeah. So we are done with more than 30 commands, and there are a few more commands we're going to discuss in future classes along with the shell script. For now, I'll teach you very beginner friendly shell scripting classes today. And I'll give a brief introduction about shell script. I type something in the Linux system, and system knows it, operating system does know about it, and later it will try to execute from the shell, and that shell will be interacting with the underlying kernel, and kernel will interact with the hardware. This is how the system process works. But if you want to automate something and do it by itself rather than doing by you, so you just uh, do some automation which will help you to do it without your interaction. Sometimes you might need it in interacted way or you might not need it. Okay. So what is the main scenario based application to build it? Uh, like if I want to go to some particular file or a folder and run it and see it, what it is inside it, and to fetch the information inside it without doing multiple steps all the time, every time manually. So to do that, uh, we have some ways to do it in an interactive way, practical way, and we can also do it in a very funny way. Okay. What is the main agenda of this class is to understand the basics of the shell script and how to automate the tasks using the shell script and write some basic simple shell scripts. These are the major task objectives of this class. And coming to shell scripting, what is shell scripting? As I said earlier, if we have 3 to 4 commands to run those in a single click or single way to execute it, you can use shell script rather than you are typing all the 3 commands again and again to automate the process. We will use the shell script. It's like a recipe. You have a you always try to cook a biryani. Every time the recipe might be same, but you will note it down in your brain, or you will be watching some YouTube video, and from there you will be deriving your recipe. The ingredients would be the same, the rice would be same, even the meat what you use is the same kind, but the recipe is the only one which you need in the core. It will be always same. You might change it, add some masalas to it, or you delete something if you don't need inside the script, or inside the biryani. You like if you don't have the fried onions, you will remove it. If you have some extra masala which is new to your cooking recipe, then you will add it. The same way, changing a small command inside a shell script might change your output. These are the things you're gonna see in the future. So why we need a shell script is like you instruct the computer and you get the output in a step-by-step manner, just like a robot. If you give information to it, it will try to execute it in a step-by-step process, and it will opposite give you a response in a way that the way you gave the instruction to it. What are the use cases of shell script? You have some backups. Every day your database getting some backups and you want to store it somewhere. Okay. To automate those backups, you will use the shell script. Or there are some files all the time generated by your application, some random log files named .txt. You want to change it to some formatted different format of files, that is batch files or batching of the files using some .cas .cls something. You want to change it to some different format, then also you can use these cases. And if you want to see the system monitoring and catch it and capture it in a file or something to automate this all the time. So every day you are running an application in your system, and at particular times there is a peak period. Your very, very easy example is Amazon. In Amazon, every day people won't be using all the time. There might be some peak times Amazon will be used, like in the morning, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock till 12 o'clock, and everyone will be sleeping. So, what is the peak period of using the Amazon is like afternoon 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Everyone would be using because everyone is wake up or evening around 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It might be the peak time. At the time, you don't know how many machines are used in the Amazon. So to collect that information, you might use the shell script. So what is the system? How system is monitored at the time? So to collect these analytics, we use a shell script. Shell script is like automating the things which are done in a step-by-step manner in your command line. Okay. There are so many useful cases apart from this we might be using in future classes, but for now, it is a recipe to your making a biryani. That's it. It's like step-by-step process. First, you need to marinate your meat. Later, you need to boil your meat. Give me a second. And later, you boil your rice. And after that, you put some masalas and everything to boil it. And later, you dum it. Right? The same way, shell script is also processed step by step to automate something. Um, why there are also some cases scenarios where you repeat the things in the day-to-day activity. You want to automate those. As I said, the automation of the backups, saving time and reduce the errors than you usually do in the manual way. What are the useful cases for this is like system administration, development in the DevOps day-to-day activities. We have used this shell script. Shell script, we might need virtual editor or using the Nano. By default, Nano can be used for very beginners, but virtual editor is gonna one I'm gonna teach you. It is also a very basic one, and you can also learn it very easily. Okay. Virtual editor is one VI shortcut, and I'm gonna type some random name test dot txt. Okay, you enter it. Okay, write something inside. I want to check the process. PS hyphen ef. I saved it. Now, if I want to make this file executable, then I need to use the command which I taught you previously. That is a chmod. Chmod is the one used to change your permission, file permission. What the command we use? Plus X and my shell script. Oh, sorry, we need to name it as sh, right? What is the command to rename a file? Anyone? Anyone in the
Move
class?
up. Move
Sorry?
up. MV.
MV. Yes. MV is the command to change test.sh. Now, when we check it, what is the name of that? Test.sh. If I want to run this, I need to make it change as a executable file. So we use chmod plus execute. You can also use the command to change the permission to 7 or even 5 to execute it, or even 1. For now, I'm using plus X to this particular script, test.txt. And if I run it, you see the process PS happening here. You can see the output it gave is process which is running in the background. And if I don't want to see the output, I can also redirect to a file, and from there you can watch it by cat. I can do that too. here, instead of directly give me the output, I'll say redirect to a file ravi.txt or process.txt. Okay. Now I want to run this again. Okay. But I don't see the process here. Previously, when I run the uh, shell script, it gave me output. But for now, it didn't give me any output. Can anyone tell the reason why it is being not redirecting the file here, output? Why didn't show the output here? Because when I see the script, it is redirecting the file to redirecting the process to this file. So it should be the process should be somewhere where it would be the file where we executed. It created a file here, process.txt. When we do the cat of the process, see, there is a file which is created, the ps-ef being run in this particular test.sh, and it is also redirecting the information to a file, and that file is created in the same location where this test.sh being created. So this is the automation we did in live way. Very small automation, but very powerful automation. Okay. Any questions here? This is the basic monitoring of the system files. System. This is called system monitoring. And how shell script starts actually, we always I gave you a small script directly, but in general way, this is not how you directly give an instruction to your shell script. First of all, you have to write something in the start, that is shebang. We call it shebang. Bash. So what it does is it is asking the bin directory to run the bash. Okay. So why we use the shebang? It tells the system which interpreter to use. The interpreter is bash shell. In this case, the output is not going to be changed, but you might have multiple backend interpreters with the shell to interact. It might be ZSH or KSH, called the con shell, bash, anything. You will learn about these interpreters in the if you do master in the operating systems and as well as shell scripting. But now understand that bash is the one of the type of interpreter. Okay. So I want to give a very simple task now to it. So now I'll create another ravi.sh and I'll type in interactive way bin bash. Previously, we also did some kind of funny ways, right? Echo. You asked me, Ravi, if you remember, why do we use echo?
Yes, right.
Yeah. So here I'll give you a very best example. When you run some script and you don't see, you give input inside the echo for script, what it will does in the background. So I will type echo. Hello, Ravi. Can someone stop their microphone, please? I can listen your voice. Anjani, can you please mute your microphone? Yes. Now I can see ravi.sh is there. What happens if I run this? But before what I told you a command to execute this. Can anyone remember and say back to the command? This file is there. To make it executable, what is the command we use? The command we use is chmod plus x and the file name ravi.sh. Now if you see ls, it changed its color from white to green. It's system way to say that file is being changed to some kind of executable file. But how would you check it? By ls-l if you do it. So if you see the process.txt, it is normal file rw r hyphen hyphen. But if you see ravi.sh, it changed something, that is rwx r hyphen x. That means for all users, it changed the executable way. Now you can execute it. Whoever the user it might be, you can execute the file. If I do /ravi.sh, it gives me the output. You might redirect this to some file and you can also save it. Okay. So it is just for the fun for now. That is one we do the one, but we can also do some kind of interesting way to understand the echo. Okay. If I go to the same file, ravi.sh, I gave it directly, hello Ravi. But now I'll change something more interesting to see how it works. I'll change the name to sorry, Ravi, and Hindi hello, I'll change it to dollar name. Okay. If I run the same Ravi script, I can see again it's Ravi. What is the difference between the previous script and the present script? The only script change here is we used variables instead of directly giving my value to it. Here the value is Ravi. If I cat the file and see Ravi, it says, what it does is we passed a variable named Ravi. Okay. The variable is name and the value is Ravi. And where did it pass? Inside the echo file, dollar name. Dollar is something where we use it as a variable inside the shell script. Okay. Does it make any sense? Any questions here? How to pass a variable?
It is clear, Kishore.
Yeah. And to make it more interesting and more interactive way, we can also provide a name. Okay. While we create in the runtime, how to run variable file. Okay. Uh, I'll name it as echo. What is your name? And I'll give this name as just a pass variable and I'll ask you to read it in the runtime, and it would be name, hello name, welcome to shell scripting class. Okay. We use the same variable, but now in this case, we are going to run it in the runtime. If I run this one, it's asking me, what is your name? If I type any name, I can type it. Now I can use Priya. What's output? Hello Priya, welcome to shell scripting class. The same way, if I use Madhuri, it's give me the output as Madhuri. I can also give Ravi. So the interacting way to shell is also can be done. In the runtime, if you want to pass any variables, we can also pass it. Any questions? Any questions? No?
It's clear, Kishore.
Yeah. Now we can also use conditional statements. That is if else or if else if. We can see those cases. If you want to see that those cases for today, you can, or else we can skip to the next class because it's already being laid. Do you want to continue with the class now? Or you want more questions related to the shell scripting for today's class? I can create some interesting questions to you and you can learn about variables and come back. I'll start with the conditional statements if you say no. No response. Okay. We'll start with this example with the conditional statements. I will pass a random number in the runtime. For now, we'll clear it. We'll create a new file. Greater number dot txt. Sorry, sh. We'll write shebang first. I will write a number and that number should be given in the runtime always. Okay. And that number should be checked if it is greater than 10 or less than 10. Okay. We'll write that. First of all, I'll ask user to enter a number. Okay. And what is the command to check it in the runtime? The read. And the number is num. We'll give it as num. Now I'll start with my if condition. If $number greater than 10, then echo the number is greater than 10. Okay. If number equal to 10, then echo the number is exactly 10. Okay. Else, what is the conditional statement here? The number is less than 10. Okay. In the last, we'll close the conditional statement, F5. Let's see if it runs or not. First, what we need to do for this file, we need to change the file permission. When we see it, number.sh is good. When I run it, it is asking me to provide a number. First of all, we'll provide number 10. See, check if it is. Oh, it might be the spacing. Hmm, number 4 and 6. Is the one every is missing space or something? No. Yeah, the spacing issue. If I type number 11, the number is greater than 10. If number is 9, it is less than 10. Do you see? Sorry for the spacing issue. In this first case, what I said, if number is greater than 10, then you give me the output, the number is greater than 10. If number is equal to 10, then the number is exactly 10. Else, echo, the number is less than 10. Okay? And at last, conditional statement is closed. This is how you write your if condition. Okay? You can also create a script. I'll give you example to create a check a number if it is positive, negative, or 0. The same way it would be. Okay? That is your question today. And next, coming to loop. I'll start the loop with a very simple way. If there is a series of numbers, a series of uh, numbers, and you want to print out all those numbers in a sequence, then it is the best way to use the loop. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to print all the 5 numbers in a series in the particular pattern. Then you can do all this by simply echoing the I number if you do for loop. Okay, I can show you directly how to do it. Print, or we can use the for dot sh. Sorry. Now shebang first slash bin slash bash. Now, for example, you have 5 numbers and you want to print all the 5 numbers one after the other in sequence, then you will give the input as I in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and at last you will close the statement and you will ask to do the system to do, and where you will echo your numbers using the variable. What is the variable here? I. So I'll use the variable I as the interactive way and I'll close the statement. Done. Okay. If I want to execute this file, what is the command I used previously?
CH mod.
Yeah. Now if we check the file, for.sh is executable. Now number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see? So it's checking for all the elements inside. So what here the for does is the number I is going to each and every statement here given, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will go to each and every number and it will try to echo it as a number from the echo. Okay, you can do it for anything. For loop will do so many things for you just to interact directly than going to each and every statement. You get it and you do the output. It can do the loops very easy way. Okay, there is another loop, while loop. Okay, where you will state the initial statement as 1 and later you will be taking it to the count one after the other. For now, we'll stop with the for loop statement for today, and I'll give you multiple examples and as well as multiple questions to you. You try to solve those today and get back to me. We'll start with the while loop and as well as functions in the tomorrow's class. Okay? How that sounds?
Okay, Kishore.
Yeah.